Singapore yet. She asked me, hey, you got to help me bring back the wine for me. I said, okay, I brought back the wine, right? And Anne has been taking the product and amazing. Her transformation is beyond. I'm at all at the transformation. You've got to meet her. You've got to hear from her. That's how she sells it to me. I know mine, we've been talking about mine. I've been trying to get my son to take it, my children. I've got 2 boys, 13 and 15. And because we don't have this kind of testimony that you're going to hear tonight, right? They also very lazy. They want to take. Many of you are new parents here also, right? You have started your mind, but your children don't want to take it, right? Tonight, if you bring your children, they sure take it. For sure.
It's you, Auntie.
Like, I try to get them, but they don't want to because this time nobody show anything. Like, I remember I think I remember I think, right? But when I had a conversation, I told friend, hey, let's call Anne now. We do a Zoom meeting. Let's call Anne now. Let me interview her. Let me hear from her. Okay? Wow, amazing the way she answered me, the way that she told me everything that's happening. I said, wow, I have to tell many people about this. I have to tell many parents about this because we all are parents and we care so much for our children's future. And no, like it or not, academic is something that's very important, right? For our kids right now in their schooling years, right? Also help her to guide them the best way we can. Those parents, you spend so much money on tuitions, right? So much mentors, everything you pay, your chicken essence and whatnot, your bird nest or whatever that you spend money on so that they help your children. Agree or not? Can you give me a hands up or not? True or not? Right? Yeah, you must agree lah. Parents, I'm sure. So that's where I said, wow, this information, I have to get it to as many people as possible. I said, let's do a job. Okay, let's conduct this, let's market this, let's bring everybody, tell them to go and tell their friends. Okay? So I need to prove that to you, whether it's really workable or not, whether it's really for real or not, right? That's why I told friend, can I invite your daughter to Singapore? Because they've been pushing people, give them a round of applause. So, I said, can I invite them during school holiday? Can you bring Anne to Singapore? I'm going to conduct a talk and I'm going to have everybody to bring their guests, to bring their friends so that they can meet Anne personally as well. Okay? So we are in luck tonight. Okay? Can you just an icebreaker? Can you just turn to your partners before left and right? Just say, tonight your mind will be enlightened. Yeah, you'll be enlightened, right? So your mind will be so reaching here. Okay? We're going to have fun because I'm really very fun. Tonight you are here as an attendees. You also get a chance to have the lucky draw. That's why we prepare lucky draw for you to win some prizes for getting value out of this talk and some lucky prizes as well. Okay? So without further ado, let me bring up my guest speakers. All right? So help me bring up my very good friend Francesca from Kuching. All right. And also our beloved Anne. You will not believe how Anne looked like just 2 years ago? Yeah. 2 years ago, my little girl, today I cannot recognize her. This is my beloved little girl, but later I show you picture, you'll be at awe of the transformation of how our Genius product has changed Anne's life totally. Okay? Alright. So you want me to please be seated? Okay? Please be seated. Okay? So Anne, you want to do something for us? Yeah? Okay. Okay, give it to her. First button. Okay, and says she wants to do something surprising. Even for me, I don't know what she's going to do. Okay, so let's take a look at what she's going to do. Okay. Yeah, you are! Bottom. Did you press the bottom? Press the bottom. Okay. Yeah. I know I'm fat. I know I'm ugly. No one likes me. I'm so stupid. Why am I even alive? This one end my life. Have you ever been called fat? Have you? Yes. Have you ever been judged just by the way you look? Yes.
You just want to go out, wear a nice dress, wear a nice suit, go for dinner. And there'll always be that one person trying to drag you down. Right?
Yes.
Have you ever had to eat your food in the school's toilet? Have you ever cried yourself to sleep? Let me tell you something. I had all of that. That was my life. And now, it's my story. Anyways，大家晚上好。我的名字叫 Anne， 我今年14岁。Okay, hello Singapore, that's better. Hi. How are you all doing tonight? Good?
Yes.
That's right. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to tell you my story today. So, as you can see in these pictures, this is actually me. Doesn't really look alike, right? And in this picture, this was about 3 years ago. That was when I was 11. I weighed at 118 kilograms. Yeah. And honestly, as I said, I hated my life. I reckon there wasn't one single day where I could just walk around in school and not get bullied. Everybody would call me names. Even the teachers would bully me. Can you imagine that? The teachers would always say like, "Oh, Anne, just some way you're gonna die soon." I'm like, okay, great, thanks. Such encouragement, isn't it? But then I felt really depressed after what my teacher said, and that just led to me eating more and more. I found food as a comfort to me. Every night when I get back home from school, I'll always order KFC, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, and my mom wouldn't know about it. But I really wish that she did know about it. I wouldn't end up like that. Yeah. It was also me, and that was my classmate. Can you see the difference between sizes? It was really difficult buying clothes as well. All my friends, every time they want to go out to a shopping mall, they would say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna buy some clothes, maybe in size S." And I'm like, I don't think they'll have 4XL there, so maybe I wouldn't go. The only place I could buy my clothes was at the supermarkets. Those big hypermarkets? That was about it. But then, one day, when Auntie Wenchi came over to our house, she sent over a miracle. Reserve. Reserve has really helped me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to Janess and everyone in the company for making me turn this. I would never have imagined that I could lose so much weight. I had lost now I'm 62 kilos, and I lost all that weight within 8 months. Of course, you have to change your diet. Don't expect a miracle. You can't be expecting to eat burgers and pizza while drinking 6 packets of water. That won't work. So what I did was, during this time when I was losing weight, I had took 4 packets of Reserve a day, sometimes 6. And I eaten more healthy food, like less processed, home cooked. I'm really happy in my life now, and I have friends, but because of my grades, they're not really my friends anymore. Because getting good marks means less friends. It's a big problem. So make sure that when you're taking Reserve, be consistent with it. Right? You can't expect one day maybe I'll take 1 packet, then the next day, what, I took a packet yesterday, maybe I won't take it today. That won't work. Okay? And now it's time to get some serious business going on. Mind. Okay, now I can see you. Yes, this here is my results from before I started taking Mind. As you can see, it's pretty bad. During this time, I was the second lowest in my class. Now just be aware that the last person in my class was a bit mental. He had some sort of disability with his brain. So that's saying something. So when Auntie Wanchi was in Orlando, my mom had asked her to bring back some Mind for us. And of course, like any other parent or any other child, I didn't believe that it would work. I didn't believe that this could actually be another miracle. But then when I started taking Mind, my grades turned to this. But of course, you have to study for it. What you have to do is, like what I did, like from my own experience, I can tell all you kids there, yes. So what you should do is, what I did was I took 4 packets of Mind during my exam, as well as study at every point where I could study. Like even in class, when the teachers were playing a movie, I would be studying. And all my friends would think I'm weird. So you have to take it consistently. You have to make sure that one day you take, one day you don't take, because that's not going to work. Because one time I actually did that, I forgot. I didn't drink enough Mind, that's why I forgot. So what you have to do is, if you don't take Mind for a day, you can really see a difference. You know, one time I read a page on my book, and then I turned to the 10th page, I read it on my book, and then when I went back to the first page, it wasn't there. It wasn't in my head. Like where is it? So I was really panicking, and that is really difficult because I knew that my exam was in a few weeks' time. And in my year, we have to study at least 200 pages for one subject. And I have 11 subjects. Great. Now, before I started taking Mind, it was really hell, you know. Every night I would lie in bed, try to remember everything that I studied, and it wasn't there. And I just cried. My mom was really, really worried about me. And I didn't know what to do. I tried every single time. I went to countless tuitions. Every day I went from tuition to tuition to tuition, and nothing worked. Yeah, it would go in the first day, but then tomorrow it would be gone. That's what worked. But now, after taking Mind, I only go to 2 tuitions in a week, which is math and economics. And then I swim twice a day, every day in the week. And I can still get that. So this is how much Mind can actually help you. Now I'll show you, these are from last year, when the first time I started taking Mind. And this is the one from this year. And this result has actually got me to be the top in my class. You know, I could have never imagined that I could actually achieve what I've done. During my first term, I got second in class. I was so disappointed. I was like, oh gosh, you know, I only missed the first person by a 0.2 average. 0.2. So now she doesn't really like me because I beat her. Oh well. This is one of my tests in ICT. ICT is about computers. And I got 60 out of 60. I don't think you can see, it's a bit blurry, but yeah, it says 60 out of 60. Okay, so
come and
Okay, so SSL is Secure Sockets Layer is in the form of protocol how data is sent securely over the internet. And the user will know when SSL is being applied because in the HTTPS, it will show a URL as well as a padlock. And when the user logs into a website, they can see that the word is only encrypted to everybody else seeing it besides the user and the website.
Okay, now second is back to our CPU.
CPU is Central Processing Unit, is a part of the computer that interprets and executes commands in the computer hardware and software. It used to be made out of discrete components, but now it's known as a microprocessor. A microprocessor is a small CPU built into a single chip, about that small. Yep. And it's made out of three components. Number one is the control unit. It controls the input and output operations, and it also communicates with the ALU memory unit. And then we have the ALU. ALU is arithmetic and logic unit that it carries out calculations and other logical decisions. And third one is the memory unit. This controls all the data and instructions that the computer needs at a given time. It includes HDD, SSD, RAM, and ROM.
And Anne was mentioning, because both her mother and daughter has been traveling for about 1 month plus, yes. They have been away from Kuching for 1 month plus holiday. And they forgot to bring their minds along, right?
And that was the worst decision ever.
So what happened? Tell the people what happened. You said, do you really feel the difference when you're not taking mine and you're taking mine?
Definitely. You know, when you don't take mine, your brain is empty. Like you cannot think fast, honestly, because I was trying to recall what my mom had said earlier in the day, and I couldn't remember, and she would get upset with me. And she was thinking, aren't you the smartest girl in class? Why aren't you thinking right? But then now, since we came back to Hong Kong, we got our first box of mine after a whole month. So feeling better now, energized.
You feel that.
Yes.
Okay.
Recharged already.
I keep asking that and tell me honestly, truthfully, really, do you really feel the difference that this product really helped you? Remember when she asked you that, right? And you said what, 110%, right? That's what I really want to say. Really, I've been trying to tell my boys, you're gonna take, I say yes, you're gonna take, you know? Right? Yes, you're gonna take. Alright, so you really feel that without this you couldn't have done so much, you couldn't have seen so much improvement in the reading. The ability for you to capture and memorize things, right?
Yes. Sorry. Okay, so yes, like during my exam, most of the things I wrote when I took mine, I wrote beyond what the teachers had actually taught, but I just used my own memory to write it. I didn't know what I was writing, but I just wrote it and I got extra marks. Yeah.
This is the how she moves
So yeah,
herself.
this shows that I was first in my class on year 10A.
You're 10. Alright. You are an applause! And I told Bianca, then number 2, I told the mother, Bianca must be number 1 last year, right? The number 1 came, the number 2 must be she's the number 1 right last year. And yeah, she's now number 2, so your daughter managed to catch up. Huh? Keep up the good work, yeah?
Thanks to mine.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, these are the awards that I won after taking mine. So for the past few years, I actually won the best speaker in my class and amongst the whole secondary school for being a good speaker. So
We all agree on that? Yeah. 200 people saying you deserve to be. Also,
then I also won the medals here. These are mainly for sports. Now, before I get to that, I just want to say that last time when I was big, yeah, I always had the dream to become an athlete. Like every year during sports day, I would see all the people, wearing their t-shirts and with the sports logo. I was thinking, why can't I be like that? I was thinking, what can I do to be like that? But then, of course, I fell back, thought, I'm never going to be like that. I'm just going to be a loser like the rest of my life. And I just ate more. But then after really thinking that, you know what, I'm going to die soon, so I should really start changing my life. I don't want my mom to see me dead before I even reach 20. And every time, because I'm a prefect in school, every time that we would have a prefect camp, there would always be a trust fall. You know what's a trust fall? is when you fall from a flight of 10 chairs and people would catch you with their hands. Exactly. That's why I never did it. You know, it was so embarrassing. All the teachers, all the people would be staring at me and just wondering, when is she ever going to jump? When is she ever going to try? I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to break your hand, so why would I want to try? So I'm really glad now because this year, during the prefect camp of this year, I did my first trust fall.
Thank you so much, Anne. All right. So now we pass the mic to Mommy. I want to ask Mommy a few questions. Okay, guys, you have heard from Anne personally, right? Also, I haven't really met her. I just talked to her on Zoom at the time when the mother told me to say, you really got to talk to my daughter. I said, okay, you know, I only met her on Zoom. I haven't really heard her story like what and all the things that she has done. I also don't know what she's preparing for, but good job, girl. Okay, and she's very proud of you. So on another side, for Francesca as a mother, for all of you parents here, okay, this is my personal question to you, babe. How does all this make you feel? I remember when she stand and talk about, you know, when she was sitting down there and saying they are fat and all that, you know how heartbreaking this for me? Because I was with them and I saw her and I constantly worry about her too. Constantly, you know, I love the girl so much. And I say, oh my God, how is she gonna get small? She's so big. You know, when I go visit her, she's such a cute baby, but she's so big, she's so big, her leg is this big. I worry sick for the girl. I tell you, that's the mother, I'm not the mother, I'm worry sick. You know, so, and I'm so glad our Jeunesse products has changed their lives, transformed their lives totally. It all started with eczema. You know, to hear from the mother, how the mother came on board on Jeunesse and started promoting the product like crazy, right? Because of her belief. So I want you to relay this belief to all our guests here tonight. You know, the same belief that you have.
Hello, Singapore! So good to be back, and thank you so much for having us. You know, we're so thrilled. We've done 1 month of holiday in 5 countries, and that's what Jeunesse has given me, yeah? Thank you so much. Anyway, thanks to Jeunesse and also Wan Chi, I came to know about Jeunesse. That's about 4 years now. And the first time when she came to my house for a visit, she said, hey babe, I think this is very good. We better talk. She pushed one bottle of reserve to me. I looked at it and said, ayo, direct selling. Then I said, oh, okay, just 1 second, I signed it. After that, what happened? I leave it in a cupboard. She didn't know, she went back to Singapore, so I never touched it. Then what happened was Anne was having eczema. It was very, very bad because that time she was big, plus she has eczema, she will hide her hands when she goes to school. And it was bloody and very scary and dry skin and scalp. And she's always scratching in her room without me knowing about it. That was when the first time I looked at it and said, what do you want? And I asked Wan Chi, I said, will this help? She said, yes, babe, you must use it. How come? You know, you haven't used it. And the only thing that I order every time they ring me and say, hey, your ownership is almost, please buy. The only thing I buy is body renewal. I don't buy any other thing. I don't eat. I don't believe. So every time I bought 2 or 3 tubes and shelf life. You know, surprisingly, after 6 months, I was so shocked. Her eczema has gone until today. That is how good it is. That was when I started to say, hey, what is this? I started going back to, you know, my Jeunesse Bank office and said, I think I've got to have a look. This could be a business model because I'm an entrepreneur myself. And I said that this could change a lot of people's life. So that was when I fly out, I came to Singapore, and I told her, I said, Wan Chi, I want to do this business. She said, ala you, come again, are you? Oh, sure not. And then for 1 year, they chased me every month to do auto shoot. I never do my auto shoot. And almost like 7 days grace, the last day, red color. Okay, today I do what? That was me. But you know, ever since then, my ownership now is until 2022 now. That is how long my ownership now. Because now I am so scared that I don't have this business. Right? And also, to answer your question also, that was how the eczema.
Yeah.
And after that, she had some on her feet and some on her arms. It's totally gone. It's
Tell us
gone
about,
forever.
tell us about this mind thing. You know, that the way now how you are so proud of achievement right now, being number one in the class, being able to do so well in speech and all that. How does that make you feel as a parent?
It was a long journey. I can tell you, each and every one of the parents sitting here, I tell you, I'm just like you. You know, I care for my daughter, I see her crying to sleep. I cannot do anything. I send her to tuitions, she come back, she cry. Tomorrow exam, tonight study, tomorrow gone. I cannot help her. When mine was launched that time, when Wan Chi helped me to get the mind back, I knew in that instance, because I went and read about it, I said, that's it, this one, that's it, I must get this one. I flew out the day after she arrived. And I took back 3 weeks just before her exam. And I said, you take it. And she told me, Mom, it will not work. Forget about it. I'm doomed, she told me. And I said, no, you must take it, you must take it. I forced her to take it. But I'm glad she did. You know, I'm very, very happy for her. Not only because she lose weight, she believed in Jeunesse Product Reserve. She did it on her own, not me. She really did it on her own. For 8 months, she quietly go on a good diet, drink her reserve without me knowing about it. And when I knew, she was only 53 kilograms for 8 months. I was shocked. I was so afraid. She was such a different person that I don't even know. And I was so worried that she got sick. But instead, she came back even stronger. She went swimming, and you know, she got so fit today, and she swims 10 kilometers every day now. That's how fit she is. And she told me, you know, now that she's thin, and that you got brains now, and then I mean, of course, you know, peer pressure and things like that, and it gave her a lot of confidence. As a mom, you know, I told her that today, Jeunesse, Reserve, and mine, all the products have helped you. It is your responsibility, not as a Jeunesse member or whatsoever, just as socially help others, giving back to the community what Jeunesse has helped you. Because there are a lot of people outside who may have the same feeling, like me, a mother, and like her, who are suffering quietly without anybody knowing. And I believe that, you know, Mom, Daddy, you know, please give that one chance to your child, because mine has changed my daughter.
Thank you. So, what did you get into when you get started? What kind of dosage do you think how did you start off? Did you start off with like daily 2 sachets, 1 sachet, or during exam you were saying 4, 5 sachets during exam time, right? But how about daily basis?
Normally I would take either 2 or 3. Because if I don't take 2 or 3, I'll feel a bit strange, so yeah. And it tastes good. I guess sometimes when you drink it, your mouth feels a bit numb, but don't worry about it. It'll slide. It's just an aftertaste. Because it's lemon. Citrus.
Alright, okay, let's give a round of applause to the mother and daughter. Okay? Thank you so much for coming here all the way from Kuching and sharing your wonderful story. Nothing beats by seeing and witnessing them personally, right? I can send you the video, but do you believe every word that they say through a video? I don't think so. But today, later on, if you need to ask any questions after the session, you can still do so, okay? So I hope that gives you confidence to get started. We need more people taking mine so that we have more testimonies. We are grateful that they are willing to give it a try and they are consistent in trying it. That's why they get the result. So many people don't do it very consistently, so they don't have that kind of result. So through this session tonight, if all of us start taking it and all of us start giving our testimony, this will help a lot of people out there, Alright, so I hope to get your cooperation as well. Get started the product so that you guys can send us your testimony as well, okay? So thank you so much, Anne and Francesca. So the next one, next guest speaker that I have, okay, because we want to know, this is the result. But then all of us are here today is that what exactly is this product? You know, what is it backed up by? What is the science behind the product? So I have a guest speaker, all right? Dr. Zul holds a PhD, all right, in healthcare and MBA, and he has an MBA, right? And besides that, he also has 8 diplomas in various fields, right? He is a sports nutritionist and he loves to research on areas of human performance and cognitive improvement. He has given talks to many individuals and organizations, and we are very honored and privileged to invite him to share the science behind minds with all of you tonight. Okay, please let me help me welcome Dr. Zul. All right, Dr. Zul, please do tell us, you know, what's happening? Huh? Why is it that Anne is getting this kind of results?
Well, I'm actually surprised by most of work actually, you know, and I've been teaching for the past 20 years, and I've seen that happening almost every semester. Somebody gets very depressed because they do not have the ability to learn. And so what I do is that they all come to me and then sometimes they ask me, so do you have any nootropics for me? Do you know what's nootropics? Anybody? Nootropics are drugs that students take to make sure that they can concentrate and focus. And of course, all drugs do have side effects, right? Taken over a long period of time. And it's not only the use of drugs that I'm against, but use of it. So in UK alone, about 100 students, actually 25 of them already start to use drugs. How many of you have kids at home who are, you know, who are studying abroad? Anyone? That means there's 25% of the time, the chance that your kids are taking drugs. And I'm getting very worried because a lot of my students actually came to me and say, you know, sir, do you have anything, you know? So I said, I don't take drugs, you know. My only sin is coffee. I take a lot of coffee to stimulate my mind, but coffee has caffeine, and caffeine actually depletes your choline in your brain, and after that you get jittery and so on. So last time I take about 7 cups of coffee just to keep abreast. But after I got mine, I myself find it very easy to learn things. And let me show you the science of it. All right? So there's only 4 ingredients in minds. Number 1 is L-theanine. So L-theanine is a natural amino acid that you drink tea, whether it's green tea, black tea, or even Chinese tea. They have this substance inside. So it's a natural amino acid. It's not a synthetic substance. So the next one is tyrosine, which is another amino acid. It's not an essential amino acid, but your body synthesizes it. So here you can get it from minds. And the second one is GABA. I like GABA very much. Anybody here know anyone who has anxiety attack? Anxiety attack? Right? Your daughter has anxiety attack? Nowadays parents have anxiety attack during exam time also. Alright, so I met a friend of mine who had anxiety attack, and he drives taxi, horned by someone, he would be like this. So his body depleted, this substance called GABA. Right? So the last one is 7Q. So there's only 4 ingredients in minds, but let's do what it can do pretty well. So when I say just now, L-theanine is a substance found in green tea, predominantly in tea. Right? And when the British actually founded tea, they start to drink, and then they go 1 class higher than the rest of the Europeans. Right? And the Dutch tried to emulate that. And the Dutch tried to grow tea in Java and Sumatra. And they found that tea is such a good cognitive enhancement substance. And of course, L-theanine helps to also help you to sleep. Anybody here got insomnia? Sleeping problems? Right? I do also in the past, but after I found Jeunesse, I sleep like a baby. It improves concentration and focus. Okay, what's the reason? You see, when we are panicking, right? When exam is around the corner, we have a lot of anxiety. Our brain waves is at pitch up. And in this particular brain wave, when you study, nothing gets in. Right? So you are at anxiety mode. So what it does when you take L-theanine, right, this particular amino acid, it brings your brainwave into alpha. So, there's many ways for you to do it. For example, meditation. How many of you here meditate? Forget about it. Huh? Thinking minds is easier, right? Meditation. Why don't you do meditate? Okay, that's good enough, huh? So, you need to meditate, and I do it by listening to Mozart music. So there's studies done that, if you listen to Mozart music, you can bring your brainwave, right, down the frequency to alpha brainwave. So now it's simple. I don't even need to on my Baroque music, my Mozart music. I just consume mine. And I bring myself into alpha mode. So I reduce my anxiety. How many of you here are suffering from anxiety attack? To be honest. Wow. This is Singapore, right? Alright. Okay, next one is it increases dopamine level, which enhance our memory and concentration. So there's another benefit. And let's move on to the next one. This is tyrosine, which is also a cognitive enhancement substance, but it's a natural substance, which is just an amino acid. It increases mood. So what they do is that they take soldiers in America, and they give soldiers who came back from war, and they are suffering from depression and anxiety. Right? This is post-war symptom. And they give them tyrosine, and they look at their mood, their anxiety, and the depression goes away. So this is a very good substance that you put inside the mind, and it also plays an important role in the thyroid gland. So maybe that's the reason when Anne took it, it increases metabolism, and she is able to reduce weight. Right? And in fact, L-theanine is also a very good substance to actually reduce weight. Right? It's a lot of fat burner out there. They put L-theanine inside. So not only is good for your mind, it's also good to remove some extra pounds also. So GABA, like what I said just now, people with anxiety attacks, people who have I have a friend who introduced me to someone, and he's actually a very successful man in Jakarta, maybe one of the richest men. And I met him, and he told me that he had some cardiovascular issues. So I recommended him the result, right? So when he looked at the result, so that's anxiety attack. Really, I mean, nobody has ever died of taking result, right? But then look at the result. And this is not a 70-year-old kid. This is a 70-year-old man. So that's the reason why he has anxiety attack, because his body doesn't have any more GABA. Right? So it's also an anti-aging substance. Okay. Wow. How many of you here are happy with your aging? Right? How many of you here are happy with your cognitive function? Okay, what it means is your brain. How many of you here are suffering from some kind of Alzheimer? Adrian. Stage one. Stage one, okay. You know that Alzheimer have 7 stages, huh? 7 stages of Alzheimer. So let's say you are holding your car key and you're looking at your wife, honey, where's my car key? You know? And your wife say it's inside your arm. And then you really suffer from stage 2 Alzheimer. Yeah. All right. Stage 2. Okay. Good luck. So if you have stage 3 Alzheimer, and you will go to the ATM machine and you stare at you know, and you figure out, hey, how come I forgotten my PIN? Because you know your PIN since you are 21 years old, and now you are 1G42. So you stare and you are wondering, you know, what's my PIN? And you call your husband. Hello, husband. Hello, darling. You know my PIN number? I know your PIN number. I'll withdraw all the money. You have stage 3. Alzheimer, no joke. Because everybody realize when they have Alzheimer, which is a bit too late. Stage 4 Alzheimer. Stage 4 Alzheimer is when you recite the Bible and the same thing again and again. The prayer, and one day you just blank. You just do not remember the thing that you recite on a daily basis. You don't remember. Or you go to your kid's house, you do not know how to get back. You see some old folks, they go to their kid's house and then you cannot reach back because they have stage 4 Alzheimer. And stage 5 Alzheimer is what my mom is suffering. Right? She look at me, she say, who are you? So my mom doesn't recognize me, and I say, Mom, this is me, your son. Look at my sister, do I have a son? They say, yeah, this is your son, my sister told her. My sister is taking care of her for like every day, 3-4 hours. And she looked at my sister like, who are you? She cannot recognize my sister. So she's suffering from Alzheimer's stage 5. Right? Unfortunately, she passed away before I joined. Nice, right? So, So, unfortunately, I wish that I joined Jeunesse 20 years ago. I forgot it. Stage 7 is when you see old folks and they walk around naked and they don't do anything. That's the worst stage, I know. So in US alone, people who are suffering from cognitive decline like Alzheimer and Parkinson and dementia, it's like the whole state of New York. Right? The whole state of New York. So that's how much people have cognitive decline. So what can this do? It has this ingredient called Sera-Q. And Sera-Q is made from silk protein. It's a very bioavailable protein. It helps to repair your brain. Right? If you eat hot dogs, you won't repair your brain. That's lousy protein. So this is high quality protein, and it helps your brain, your dendrites to reconnect back again. And that's all for today. And this is some studies show that when you take Sera-Q alone, right, your memory starts to improve. And you can see that the higher the dosage, the higher your ability to memorize things. Can we do a test? Okay.
Another note, okay, when friends just arrived, you arrived yesterday, right? Yesterday? Yeah, so when you arrived yesterday, I asked you to come to my place as well. Yeah, stage 1. Okay, so when she came over and we were discussing what we're going to do, how we're going to present the thing to all of you tonight, right? And she brought up, she said she just got back from Hong Kong University, our Jeunesse University, and she had met up with a lady, a lady got on board of how she has the ability of reversing the aging, taking our products, right? So you heard that the lady take 8 Affinity. Each time 8, huh? But we want to show you this because I say this is a good time for us to, since we have 200 people here, we should talk about Affinity as well. So can you just move the slides to the Affinity slides, yeah, the Affinity slides. Yeah, just go to Infinity slide. I want to show you this picture. Dr. Bidok, can you show them the picture first before you explain the science behind it?
Okay, this is the reason why I joined today, right? I'm looking for something that can reverse my aging process. Because apart from teaching, a lot of subjects in, university, I also teach karate. And my national coach, he got diabetes and he had to amputate 3 of his toes and all that. So he cannot demonstrate the kicks and the punches and all that. So he's looking at me all the time. But I'm getting older also. So I couldn't demonstrate my kicks and my punches and so on. So I felt the aging process. And I was hoping that there's ways and means that I can reverse my aging process. And when I talk to my friends who are anti-aging doctors, they always talk about stem cell therapy. But stem cell therapy can be very costly because it costs about between 65,000 to 100,000 a year. So if you are the daughter of Ong Beng Seng, Ong Beng Fong, it's okay, it's actually plastic, right? Jack Ma, Nancy Long.
Yeah.
But I'm not. So at that time, when I met my friend, he's the special advisor for the A4M, right? Which last time Dr. Jampapa was the chairman of it, and he went to several of these meetings whereby all these anti-aging doctors they share their new findings and all that. So he told me, and that time was about 7 years ago. He told me that this thing called TA65 actually can reverse your aging process. So I told him, Doc, would you like to buy me some bottles? And he came back after, I think he came back from Hawaii. There was a convention there. He told me it's $6,800. But people like Suzanne Somers are already using it. Top Hollywood actors are using it. So I say $6,800 is not for me. I think I'm going to keep my white hair. But I'm very happy because Jeunesse actually bought the formula and we can enjoy it for only $268. That's a huge discount.
Yeah. So we want to show you the picture. This lady here, friend, can you come and tell us since you told me I got the information. By the way, all of you taking the videos and pictures that we told you don't do it in the beginning. But then please do me a favor. Do not post all this on social media, okay? If you need this for your members, by all means you can share with them. But please respect, because when they share with us, they tell us do not share this, right? So we are doing our very best just to give you the knowledge. We respect each other with that. So please make sure that you don't do this openly, okay? So now, Frank, please tell us who is this lady?
This lady is from China, but her name she doesn't want to be known here. And in 2013, when she first joined Jeunesse, and likewise she started with Reserve, but she knew that she was aging, and it was aging badly because her legs, she finds it very difficult to walk, especially in China now it's extremely cold. So what happened was that after she joined, she knew that this product could help her. When she found out about Finity, she takes 8 tablets a day. And she went from 2013, every day without fail, faithfully she went from an old lady, she's 76 now, but this is how she looked. And even better now. And guess who this is? That is the husband. The husband is the same age as she is. Now the husband like the father. Yeah? So she actually during this 18 Hong Kong year, she has won an award for being reverse aging, for being young. So that's amazing. 8 tablets a day. So if those of you don't need to go for plastic surgery, just take Finity. And through my own experience, I knew about this quite some time ago, and I was desperate because at 44, I had my menopausal. I forgot everything. I forgot where I put my jewelry. I forgot my car key. A lot of things I forgot. So when I came to know about Jeunesse, I wanted it so badly. I take 8 tablets and followed her. I could feel something growing in me. I feel like some roots or something are going through my veins. Absolutely, no joke. You know, and I can tell you that my memory is so good now. Of course, it's still not at its best, but really, again, thanks to Janice, I will still continue 8 tablets a day. If I have to wash plates to eat it, I will.